Zodizach coming to you live all the way from Santa Nella, California tonight, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of a road trip for myself, visiting some family. Figured I'd do it while I have some time on my hands. Hey, shout out to all the firefighters out there fighting these fires for us here in California. Shout out to all the first responders working hard right now. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for protecting the Golden State. Yeah, big shout out to you guys. Heroes, real heroes. Today is August 20th, Thursday night, guys. Welcome to the Facebook call. This is Star Bros. So if you guys don't know what that is, Star Bros is where my brother and I started doing Facebook calls, and we just talk about Star Wars because we're huge Star Wars fans. So Star Bros is on Thursday nights, guys. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Star Bros. And tonight on the call, we have a very special guest. Not just my brother. My brother's my co-host on Thursday nights. But tonight we have a very special guest, a friend of ours who's been to every premiere with us accidentally. Except for, I think there was a few times we did plan out going to see a movie together, but generally speaking,
we planned out a few of them. We've talked about it.
But some of the time, most of the time, I think it was by accident, by passionate accident, that we end up going to premieres together. So, without further ado, I give you Pedro, my friend. What's going on, my guy?
How you doing, everybody? Doing good, doing good. Can't wait for this new premiere coming up.
I know, man. So before the podcast started, before we started recording, I heard you mention something to my brother about a premiere of a new trailer or something.
Right. Supposedly during this Lakers game, that's actually going on right now. I guess halftime or in between some of the breaks, they're going to have a teaser for season 2 of Mandalorian.
Oh wow!
Hopefully it's true. Yeah.
I hope it's happening.
Pretty stoked for that. Yeah.
I got to pull it up on my computer now.
That'd be so awesome. I hope it is. If it is, then
for sure.
Then it would go online tonight for sure.
Yeah.
It'll definitely go on YouTube tonight for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So I know before we jumped on the call, I had messaged you this week telling you about how we're watching episode 2 of The Mandalorian.
Yeah.
As you know, Mandalorian comes out in I think October, right? Is that right? October or November?
Yeah.
October comes out.
October.
Yep.
So season 2 comes out.
Mandalorian season
month
2.
And a half, almost 2.
Woo,
yep.
I can't wait. So yeah, we're doing these companion episodes where we just want to catch up on season 1, preparing for season 2. And so this week we decided that we were to cover episode 2 of The Mandalorian. We were going to do Star Wars Resistance as well, which is an animated series. But since we got you here tonight, we figured we would just spend time on Mandalorian because that's really the bread and butter.
Oh, right on, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bread and butter.
Yeah.
Speaking
where the metal meets the meat.
Yeah.
Do you watch any of the Star Wars animated series?
Honestly, I haven't seen I've seen the new Clone Wars that they just made up. Disney Plus brought on. The old I haven't seen in a long time, so my memory's kind of dead on that part. But I've seen a few. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
some Rebels once in a while, just
throw it on.
Yeah.
It's Star Wars. Why wouldn't you just put it on, right? Yeah.
When you got Disney Plus, it's at your disposal. It's so cool.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What are you watching?
I was
Disney
so
Plus?
happy all of a sudden when I had Disney Plus. I'm like, whoa, where should I start? Oh wait, there's Mandalorian. Might as well, Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Are there any other Star Wars titles that you're watching or that you have watched that you recommend?
I got back watching Solo a couple days ago just because it came out, Disney Plus. I wasn't a huge fan of it. One, because I was kind of, expecting someone else to portray Han. Obviously, the choice having Alden, being Han. I mean, it's enjoyable. It's not my favorite of the new ones, but
yeah.
I was watching just to see, get a little recap on how Han met Chewie, and how their adventure started from there,
I will say I did really enjoy Donald Glover's rendition of Lando, and that's
great. Spot on.
Lando was great.
Lando and the droid. I forget the droid's name.
L something.
L7 or L7. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good duo. I liked that part of the. That was probably my most enjoyable part of Solo because I was definitely let down on that one. Oh man.
Yeah. I feel you, man. Yeah.
Yeah, what about Rogue One? Did you like Rogue One?
Oh man, that's my favorite. All of them. And here's a funny story. I went to see it. My brother, my wife, even my sister too. She went with some friends, It felt like old Star Wars without making it too modern,
Mhm.
too
Mhm.
prequel-ish, even though prequels, were entertaining, but it had the original vibe to it, Yeah, and the ending, of course, was like amazing. Which the Vader scene, I was like, like a little kid
Yes.
when I first saw Vader for the first time, like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it was awesome, it was gnarly, it was pure. Honestly, it's probably controversial to say, best Vader scene ever since we're introduced to Vader.
Dude,
And then
I would
also,
agree.
obviously, which led to spoiler, Leia. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was amazing. Like, I mean, wow. Obviously we had good, Anakin when he was younger. Fighting. All this
It's
great
an
stuff.
agile Vader, because normally you see
Right.
Vader and he's kind of old,
He's
straggling, robotic Philly, but like this is like Vader's fresh, like he is straight to the dark side. Like
exactly. Yeah.
this is like a literal, he's fresh.
Because we never really seen him attack any rebels. Which obviously, I mean, it's not that we want to see deaths and murder, right? But I mean,
right.
knowing him the way he is as a Sith Lord, he's someone strong, intimidating. You always see him attacking his own people. Like all these other commanders and Grand
Force
Moffs
choking.
were like force choke. Yeah. But I'm seeing him attack rebels, and as far as I heard, that scene was actually one of many scenes that they recut and recorded because they didn't want to make it too bloody or too gory. Because it's Disney. They want to make it somewhat clean, and also Star Wars in general isn't really that graphic, right? But that scene was just perfect. Like you feel the fear of all these rebels running away, trying to give that the Death Star plans to get to a safe spot so they won't get taken away from Vader, and it was just amazing. And then seeing Leia was like, whoa, wait, what? Wait, Carrie Fisher? And then
Carrie
it was a
Fisher.
trip. And something funny that actually I was going to mention is that last year in September, the Comic-Con in Merced, they had Leia, the actress, a double that was her for the Rogue One. She was there signing autographs, and me and my brother got to meet her.
Tight.
She was really cool, and I got
That's
2 autographs of her. And it was amazing. It was cool. I'm like, whoa, that's Leia-ish, but
that's
Leia.
tight.
Yeah. It was
really
awesome.
cool. Hey,
I always fangirl with Star Wars.
Have you been to Galaxy's Edge yet?
What's that? No. You know what? Here's a funny thing.
Oh man,
My wife and I were already like ready.
Yeah.
We're like, okay, spring break's coming up. We're gonna go to Universal Studios because I haven't been to Universal Studios at all. I'm like, I want to go there, and then let's go to Disneyland and see Galaxy's Edge. What happened? COVID happened.
Oh,
so
man.
for real,
we couldn't make it.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry, dude. I'm so sorry,
bro. Oh man,
okay.
I feel bad for you, bro. Like I'm hurting.
Yeah,
because you guys went, right? I've seen you guys' pictures.
Bro,
oh my god,
we got our lightsabers.
Dude, well, I actually moved. I'm actually 45
I
minutes from Disneyland now. I moved
Zach,
45 minutes from Disneyland now, so I'm
You're
really
right.
super excited because, like, man, if like any of my friends go to Disneyland, like, I'm definitely ready. I'll be like, I'll buy a ticket. I'm going. Like my wife, she's an annual pass holder, so my in-laws they got me an annual pass for our wedding. So as soon as COVID lets up,
awesome, dude.
As soon as COVID lets up, Disney will allow us to use our passes as if we had just got them. So that'll be cool. We're just kind of waiting for that, and I'm just
awesome.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited to just take advantage of the pass because man, Star Wars is everything, like we're just nerds for Star. It is just something that as a kid it captured my imagination, and like you look at the fight versus good versus evil, and like it just resonates as a kid.
Exactly.
So yeah.
Oh
That's why we're here. That's why
they
we're
also
have Star Wars.
I was gonna say, yep.
It binds us together,
It binds us, molds us,
penetrates us.
Penetrates.
Well, that's what.
Yeah,
oh my God,
dude.
Yeah.
So the Force.
Yeah.
The Force is strong with this one, I see.
So
but it's so cool because
Yeah.
Resistance. Last little bit. Resistance is coming out though to Disney. Not Disney, to Star Wars Land.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the new one that's coming out on Star Wars Land is Resistance, right?
Yeah.
If I'm and you're able to be like,
Galaxy's
I don't know,
Edge.
it's a whole different another ride though. Galaxy's Edge and Galaxy's Edge.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's a whole nother ride.
Anyways, so I say
and see, I've heard about it, and I really want to. For me, it's like I just touch the Falcon, like oh my god,
oh my god,
at least
yeah,
touch it, and just like I got to see it. I know you guys probably went to the ride and flew on it. Like man.
Dude, it was amazing. But he'll get.
Man, I got to
there.
fly the Falcon.
Yeah, he got to flip the switch on the Falcon.
You'll get to go there.
Light speed, so.
I got to hit light speed.
Yes. Oh my god!
Yeah,
punch it.
Chewy, punch it, and I punched it, bro. I punched it.
Oh, nice.
So I have this theory. I have this theory after hitting that ride because you get to hit the light speed lever, right? Like in the movies, they always have that lever for light speed, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm convinced that Han Solo and Chewie were just a bunch of cholos from Eastside San Jose in a lowrider because they literally hit those switches, punch it, and it's like,
right.
I mean, come on, his co-pilot is Chewie, bro. His co-pilot is Chewie.
Chewy, Jesus,
He doesn't speak English.
Jesus Vaca, you know what I'm saying?
Jesus Vaca. Yes.
Juan Cholo. It was Juan Cholo and Chewy. That's who.
Juan Cholo.
Juan Solo, man.
Juan Cholo and Chewy.
Anyways, let's.
They're smugglers, so hey, that's
there you go. They were smugglers, so I'm down. I'm the more Latinos we could see in Star Wars, I'm all down for it. Anyways, let's move on to the Mandalorian. Yeah. Speaking of Latinos, we have somebody, Pedro Pascal, playing the Mandalorian, who I think is a perfect mix for it. Man, he's doing a great job.
Amazing, yeah.
Yep.
Episode 2, gentlemen. What were your guys' thoughts on episode 2? Because this is my first thought was that I actually was looking forward because you remember when we left off on episode 1, we find out that there is now this new little green creature, new baby Yoda, right? And so I was really looking forward to maybe understanding the character of Baby Yoda in this episode, and you kind of see that unfold a little bit towards the end of it. So going into episode 2, what were you guys' thoughts before you? What were you expecting?
You first, Pedro. Go.
All right, thank you. My thought was, okay, he's not Yoda. Is he a clone? Is he force sensitive? What race is he? First, I'm like, the Mandalorian didn't know because he's a Mandalorian. He's not like a Jedi. That people that knew Yoda, for example, But my biggest expectation of it was like, okay, is he also a force wielder, just like Yoda that we knew in the past? But it was amazing just seeing him. Because like you said, we got to see him at the end of episode 1. It really blew my mind. I'm like, whoa, wait, is that Yoda?
Yeah, exactly.
We have a Yoda. Like, whoa, what's going on? It's like,
exactly.
You didn't expect it, and then now you have this whole episode showing you his introduction, like of how frail he is. Even though he's 50 years old, he's still like a child. His species age differently than say human, right? And you see him in the end, using that force power, which really surprised a lot of people. And for me, I'm like, I knew it. He's gonna do something.
Yeah.
But it was amazing. It was really cool seeing him. He was adorable. You have to admit. You just want to hold him and like just throw him in the air like babies.
Throw him in the air.
I know. He reminds me of the little. Do you remember the? I think it was like the No, it's not the Charmin bear. It's the Dawn teddy bear. Remember the Dawn teddy bear for the bounty or something? Is Dawn
was it Dawn or was it Snuggles or
Snuggles? Right? It was Snuggles. Yes, he reminds me of Snuggles.
Snuggles.
And when he gets up and he starts walking across the screen, you're like, oh my god, it's so cute.
Dude, he waddles like when he walks. I sway with him.
Yeah.
I have to sway with him. But
I
can't
remember exactly if it was in the beginning of the second episode where he stretches out his hand to heal the Mando, but he doesn't. Is that what happens? Is that the first
Yes.
One? Yes. So
I knew something. Yeah.
I was kind of curious about that part because at first I was hoping for him to actually like heal Mando. And I was like, oh please, like I want to see this. But of course, they tease us and they do the whole entire like let me just put him back in his little egg real fast.
Yeah.
I thought there was a lot of that. Like you could tell that the directors were trying to like hold the cards in a little bit and not give us too much. So I thought they're doing a good job with that, especially with Baby Yoda, because like right away, my first thought was like, I just want to know.
Is he a Force user? Is he like partial?
Yeah.
Does he have the Force? Is he a descendant of a Jedi? You know?
Right. Yeah.
Because we all know in history that Yoda is like the G. He master. So it's like, come on, like this guy has to know the Force. Like, come on.
Right.
Okay, so
it also makes you wonder if their race of aliens are all more sensitive too. You know. Like,
exactly.
Which would be different, because like if all their race is Force sensitive, that means that they wouldn't have to. Well, nobody's trained him to use the Force, right? I don't think anybody's trained him to use the Force. He's just he's just a powerful Force wielder. Or her. I'm not sure what sex it is. So
then again, we wouldn't know because he's 100 years old.
Or he's 50.
Yoda or 50?
Oh, he's 50 years old.
Baby Yoda.
I mean. Yeah. Baby Yoda.
Yeah, he's like Paul Rudd. You know.
You never know. What if they trained him as a baby at like 25 years old?
Right.
Yeah.
We don't know. No, I'm just kidding now, but.
So
and also I love that he's most of the time he's animatronic. You know, like just like the old, good Star Wars. Like he was a puppet. Yeah.
And it looks good.
Cool.
I'm actually really surprised.
Yeah.
The last episode that we had that we did in Space Bros, I did mention that it looks really good. Like the show itself looks good. It's not cheesy. Like if you go back and look at episode 1, those graphics didn't hold up well.
Episode 3, you know, towards the end, you see the little PS1 stormtroopers pick up Anakin. You know, yeah.
Oh my gosh,
big difference
from
there. You know?
Yes, big difference. So I'm glad that there's some quality involved in it. I also really enjoyed the scene where Baby Yoda picks up that frog. Did you guys catch that part?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was great.
He's like, what?
In Baby Yoda
he's all
language,
laughing. You know?
It's a flog. It's a flog.
It's a flog.
It's a flog.
It was. I mean,
oh my goodness!
But he's so cute.
Yes.
You're like, oh my gosh, he's so cute.
Oh yeah.
You can't help it, but it's like it's Baby Yoda.
Moving on in the story a little bit, though, I thought another cool part of this episode is that we get to see the Jawas, familiar faces in the Star Wars franchise.
Yes.
Which and I forget what the ship is called, what their like cruiser is called, but it's
Sandcrawler
or something. I can't remember what it's called, but
Dune.
we get to
is
see
it a Sandcrawler? Sandcrawler.
Yeah. Iconic Jawa vehicle, right? You get to see it, and to me, when they showed up, I was like, "Yes, it's my favorite."
The Jawa vehicle.
I know, Luke, you always quote a line from the Jawas all the time. What is it? One of their
what is it called?
Actions.
Utini. There's Utini, but they also the Suka because they talk about the egg Suka.
Yeah, which leads us to our next part. Mando comes upon his ship and he finds it dismantled. Right. So this is where introduce the Jawas, and I forget what his name is. What's the old man? What does he say?
Quill. It's Quill.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. Yep.
He says.
He says. Something about the Jawas, right?
Yeah.
That they don't destroy, they steal, or they something like that, right? They don't really destroy anybody.
They take parts and they sell them. They're like
scavengers.
Yeah. There you go. Scavengers. Yeah.
I would call them like the Star Wars Segunda, I would say.
The traveling
Segunda.
Damn. Right.
They're street vendors.
Segunda. That's how I would call them.
So Jawas are basically street vendors in Star Wars because they just show up in your hood and start selling.
Yes.
Star Wars. Hey, you want to buy this? You know.
But the thing is, there's not just one. There's like 100 of them that show up in one car. So.
Yeah.
And then a few of them get disintegrated.
Dude, that's Star Wars Segunda right there.
That is sad, though. I was kind of sad that they get disintegrated.
I know.
Out of nowhere, like
it says. Or they hit when Mando's hanging on the thing with his cable.
Yeah.
And they're just knocking him with their little they're throwing everything at him, trash and
whatnot.
When he goes on the top. Yeah. Yeah.
Shit gets.
Too.
Yeah. But I like that part though, because even after that, after he gets tased, like Baby Yoda's just chilling in his crib, just like, bro, wanna get up already?
Where's my food?
Where's my food? Yeah. I'm hungry.
I really
that was pretty cool.
I liked the part where when after he falls, he's just kind of like laying there, and they have to like walk all the way back. And I thought for a second,
went back to the ship.
Yeah, I just stopped for a second. I was like, oh hell no, nah, just kill me already.
That's I can imagine the heat.
Dude, tell me about it.
Sweaty in that helmet, just.
Oh god.
And you have a little kid with you, like, yeah, it's like it's tough, A caravan back home,
They're on the planet. It's Arvala 7, right? That's the planet they're on right there.
And see, that's one thing I was going to mention.
Desert planet.
It's a desert planet, and the Jawas have a little bit of a different look. Their eyes are red. They're actually known as off-world Jawas. I don't know who made that name for them, but their robes are a little bit more like a reddish brown. Sometimes even kind of like like a gray meets brown color. But their eyes are red, and then obviously, I don't want to spoil it for other people, but in some other scenes you'll see they're yellow because they're in a different planet. Yeah. I think there's a different Jawas compared to the ones from the original trilogy, and also
from Tatooine.
You don't really see Jawas in the from Tatooine, yeah.
They're different Tatooine Jawas, yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're very similar, but just obviously different look. I mean, same look but different aesthetic sometimes, on the base. But also in the new trilogy, you don't really see Jawas at all.
Yeah.
They always bring new aliens in each movie. But I think for these past 3 movies that Disney made, the
7, 8, and 9 was different.
It was different. No Jawas. Yeah. I mean, they did bring. They brought us Wicket, in Episode 9, which, the Ewok, just for a 2-second little cameo. But just no Jawas until this one. They bring them back, and heck yeah,
Classics. No I had a lot of those. Actually, had a few Jawa action figures. I had a few of them.
Yeah.
Those are staple of the classics, man. Yeah. Jawas, man. Love those dudes.
Oh, exactly.
What was your guys' highlight of this episode, though? That's like, what was a highlight moment for this episode? Episode 2.
For episode 2, I would have to say, me personally, I thought more towards the end, to where basically they fight the let me see, it's like the ram, but it's called the
Mudhorn.
The Mudhorn. Is it the mud? It's Mudhorn. It's the Mudhorn. And so it's the Mudhorn. And so, what's his name? Mando's taking a beating, he's already getting hit. And dude, and time's about to he's like, I'm done. I'm already donezo. I got my last little knife on me. I already used up my his arm shooter, his, everything, that's it. His blaster, everything. He's like, okay, I got my knife, that's it. And it's coming to that point, It's like that ending scene.
Right.
And so I don't want to spoil it. We're supposed to say this.
You should spoil it. I mean, it's been out for a year now. Season 2 is going to start.
Yeah, okay. Okay. So basically, so the Mudhorn is coming at him, and Baby Yoda, all of a sudden he's just stops in the moment, everything pauses, opens up his eyes, and the first thing that you see is the Mudhorn in midair. What the heck's going on? At first it's well, Mando is, Mando's there, but next thing you know, you just it turns the camera, and you could just see Baby Yoda's three little fingers, it's all of his might, all of his power that he has, the force of whatever, the force, and just uses that with his little 3-pronged hand and just lifts him up just in time for Mando to get his bearings back, just enough, a few seconds in order for him to get in the groove again to get back up. And the cool thing about, Mando stabs the Mudhorn, it falls over. But the funny thing about that scene is that after that you just see him, and the next thing you know, he just falls back into his little crib bed.
Yeah.
He passes out. It took all of his strength, every little bit of energy that he had. So this little guy just force lifted like a rhino.
Right. Oh,
Bigger.
yeah.
Bigger.
Huge, yeah.
Way bigger,
Pedro,
like, you know what I'm saying?
Was that one of your favorite parts, or a different part that? What was the
That totally was, because I was expecting the Force power, from Baby Yoda to use all of that power. Like you said, all of his might. I knew he was going to do something, and it was trying to take, all of his power out. What was actually interesting when I was watching the scene, it hit me. I'm like, there's an Easter egg in that scene. Like when you mentioned, Luke, where Mando has his knife. That's his last thing. He's weak. He's holding it, towards it. All right, come at me, man. I'm going to get you no matter what. That scene reminded me of Saving Private Ryan. Like towards the end where Tom Hanks, he's sitting down with just one little...
He just has his last pistol.
Right.
Exactly. He's shooting.
Yeah.
And then it blows up, and then the audience thinks, oh, wait, he did it. Then comparing to the Mandalorian, it's like, all right, he's got the knife. He's going to stab him. He's flying. Oh, wait, did Mando do that? No, wait. Baby Yoda did, or the child did, And
right.
Yeah.
It was fun. You knew something was going to happen. Some... Star Wars miracle, that's going to save him.
Some Star Wars miracle,
and
there you go.
obviously the child as well.
Some Star Wars miracle.
Likely, But yeah, that was amazing. I love that. Another thing that's a little bit off topic, that scene is that I love the whole aesthetic. That episode as well, the desert,
Yes.
the characters, they look so real, including the Mudhorn, most of it was CGI. With the lighting, with every detail in it, it was amazing. And it was funny that thing laid an egg, a big fuzzy egg. Yeah.
I know. I thought that was a Wookiee egg at
Right.
first, but so the Jaw was actually charged.
I was like, that's no egg. Yeah.
So the Jaw was actually sent Mando to go get the egg, right? If I'm not mistaken, that's how the
They did.
So they sent Mando to go get the egg. He goes in there thinking he's going to go handle this. He ends up pretty much falling short in his mission and almost dying in the process. And Baby Yoda literally does the heavy lifting. Legitimately does the heavy lifting at the end of this episode.
Yeah.
And Mando's
he carried the trio, the double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, so because of this scene, though, it kind of got me excited for what was going to happen in the future. Like, if this is Baby Yoda right now, right? This is Baby Yoda right now, end of second episode, pretty much, levitating this giant animal. What is going to happen in the future? So, and the thing is, I think at that moment, what is demonstrated is the actual force power in this being, that the fledgling... what's Kylo's what are they called? First Order? Because that's the First Order in the first episode.
Knights of Ren.
The Knights of, so in the first episode 1, you see some stormtroopers, right, of the Mandalorian, and this timeline takes place before Kylo Ren, before the new prequels, right? But it's after Darth Vader. So
this takes
place. It's 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Is what
so in between Return of the Jedi and
so 5
Force
years
Awakens.
after Return of the Jedi.
So it's in between that little 5 years. Yeah.
Right. And so at this point, so Baby Yoda. This is the crazy thing, though, right? So this is Baby Yoda 5 years after Return of the Jedi. This is before Kylo Ren and Rey. So this is a really strange time. Like, what's going to lead up into the First Order with the Mandalorian story happening?
Right.
Which makes it really interesting because in episode
because you don't see him in the future movies. Yeah.
Exactly. You won't see him in future movies, but you do get the sense that the First Order is on the look. You understand why they're looking for him now, because his force power is demonstrated in episode 2, right, with the Mudhorn thing, right? And that was kind of like the shocker to me, where all of a sudden I realized, wait a second, this Baby Yoda is not just any Baby Yoda. He's probably the last
force user.
I mean, besides Kylo Ren trying to Luke was trying to retrain Jedis, right? So besides Luke, there was other powerful force wielder, right? This is so strange how this plays into the timeline, because I'm excited for that. How I wonder if season 2 is going to answer some of those questions, because they didn't answer that in season 1.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Because the only thing that you really get a basic knowledge of is the fact that, like, when Mando actually goes in for his armor, that he brings in the metal, and you hear the in the first episode, like you hear the basically their smith, who's like the one who creates all their weapons and stuff. Like she's like the blacksmith of the Mandalorians. Where it's just like, this metal is ancient, is before the Great Purge. And we all know what the Great Purge was. The Great Purge was the killing execution of the Jedi, Order 66. You know? Yeah. So it was just like, snap, this is the first time.
That Baby Yoda was alive during the Purge, which is crazy.
He was alive.
He was alive.
During
He's
the Purge.
50 years old.
He might be as old as Anakin.
He's 50 years old.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think I read that he was supposedly 8 years before Episode 1. He was born. And some people like, there's theories and stuff, questions like, is he a descendant of Yoda? How was he born? Was he cloned by Yoda? Because, see, Episode 1 did tease us with that Dr. Pershing, the guy that's working with that guy.
Yeah, the glasses. He has the glasses. Yeah,
that guy. Because he has on his shoulder, if you look closely, it's more of like a, blink and you'll miss. You'll see the insignia of Camino for cloning.
Right.
Maybe when, if maybe in the future they extract some of the child's blood, they might clone him. They might use it to, we saw like on Snoke, Palpatine, because he has force power, midichlorians, which, in that gap, kind of going towards Jurassic Park, like finding a special type of gene to make a ultimate, force powerful clone in a sense. Because a lot of people are saying that the Emperor was cloned, which obviously in Episode 9 you see him old, like he was rotting up, like they brought him to the grave. We don't know if he was really dead or they cloned him, he died, and someone brought him back. We don't know. It's still
it's kind of a left out period that we're still trying to figure out.
Yeah, I'm
really
excited.
And Star Wars is always famous for planting stuff, and it grows future on. Like for example, like on on Rogue One, they Jin, when she's looking at the plans on that Citadel thing in Scarif, it said what is hyper speed tracking, in which you see it in Episode 8. And stuff like this you see, like, for example,
they track you through light speed now in the new one.
Yeah, and
that would never happen before.
Force heal. Exactly, and then you see Force heal during this show, which later on you see it in Episode 9, which is years and years, according to its canon.
Right.
In the future, and you see that there's repetition and or the hint stuff that's gonna happen.
That's a really good writing staff, really good directors, like overall vision and awareness of the franchise and canon, like what they're trying to do, which I really appreciate. And I think only a company like Disney would really be able to add that level to the production with stories like Star Wars. So I know Luke and we both kind of agreed with, like, even though it's Disney and they usually gentrify a lot of things, it's like you go to San Francisco, you find the most gentrified neighborhood, you find all the same stores that you'd find in LA, you find them all in San Jose, you find them all in Malibu, all the same stores, right? So I think Star Wars, they did that with Marvel movies. I mean, Disney did that with Marvel, where it's the same recipe, different superheroes kind of thing. They gentrified all the superheroes. They're not very different, but they're all kind of the same. But there's tons of them now, right? So I think that was kind of like a price to pay for Star Wars. I mean, like, as much as I honestly think that Disney has done a better job than George Lucas has done with his prequels, but so that's just my opinion. But I'm really excited for what's next with Star Wars, because obviously that's what we're all looking forward to. Expanding the universe.
Exactly. Which there's the expanding the universe, also upcoming, which it's already been announced. They're going to have. Is it 10, 11, and 12? That's coming out soon, too, as well.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to have a whole new trilogy coming out.
Wow.
As well, too.
Which supposedly it's people, too.
Different people. There's no more Skywalkers, no more. Right. Everything's a whole new view.
So it's from the other side of that galaxy.
Exactly. So they're doing away with Skywalkers.
Where did you see The Force Awakens, Pedro?
saw it here in town. Los
At
Banos.
Premier Cinemas.
Like,
Did we see
I
it
saw it
with
here,
us?
premiere.
Did we see it with you?
What time? Okay, we went to the early one.
We went to the
7:00.
I think we went to like a 7.
First
too. But
Okay, so yeah, I saw you guys there. We're like, okay.
we
Yeah,
must
yeah.
have been in the same. I think we're usually sitting in the same aisle. It's usually just like, hey, okay.
we were
Right, yeah.
probably somewhere. It just we were in a line. I got in line early for sure.
But
Oh,
the funny
yeah.
thing,
You have to get in
about
line at least.
Going to movie premieres in a small town like Los Banos is
Especially in a
that
small
you-
town like here.
Yeah, you run into all your
Exactly.
friends, all the nerds, all the local nerds. You know, everybody.
Yep.
Everybody
And
who's
you
somewhat
were
nerd.
like,
and it's just a
It's
huge.
funny because
reunion.
there was a person I saw that. Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Oh yeah, exactly. You know, it's like a huge family. You know, of this fandom. I mean, it's funny because I saw someone that I knew from when I was a kid with her family, and she wasn't a Star Wars fan, and here she was like right there in front in Star Wars drag, dressed Star Wars shirts and all. I'm like, okay, all right.
I
If
see.
you're not a fan now, you'll become a fan later. You know, like
Yeah.
there we go.
I always say there is a Star Wars for everybody. You know, like I could show my wife all the Star Wars movies and she might not like it, but she actually enjoyed watching Mandalorian with me, obviously because of Baby Yoda. I mean, a lot of people, you know, he's a character that really brings a lot of people new into the franchise. And honestly, it's something new that brings old fans together. You know, like
Yeah.
my dad, he hasn't really been a huge fan of any of the new Star Wars movies. He kind of enjoyed Rogue One, but he's like, it could have been better. But, you know, he's an old school fan. And then when
Yeah.
we showed him Mandalorian, he loved it. He's all right. Put the next one. Episode 8, I'm like, that's it?
That's
That's
it.
it. We get a new one.
We need another season.
really? Yeah.
We need another
So he was kind of
season.
upset. He's like, oh, man, I want to see more of it. You know, it's messed up. I'm like, it's going to be out next year, so it's
Yeah.
coming.
And, yeah, so October's around the corner. We're excited for it. You know, we're doing the countdown, doing the companion episodes now. So that's gonna be. I mean, I'm really looking forward to it. But Mandalorian. Going back to the show real quick. You know, one of the things that I really appreciated about episode 2 was the fact that when he gets back to Krill, right? Is Krill? His name's Krill. It's Krill, right? Yeah.
Quill.
He gets, Quill. I'm sorry.
Quill,
So when he gets
yeah.
back to him, and they start putting back the ship together, right? And the funny thing is that, like, you know, at first you'd think that Quill is just like a rancher because he asked for like these. He asked for like the, you know, those cattle or whatever they were, right? So,
Blurgs.
yeah, you don't think
Yeah,
he's
the
you don't
Blurgs.
think he's anybody cool or anything like that. But when
Right.
when Mando gets back with his pieces, it's actually Quill who puts the ship back together, like from start to finish. Puts it back, works through the night pretty
Exactly.
much. And Mando's like, I need a guy with your skills, you know. Which I would have really enjoyed if Quill would have like joined the squad. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
that would have been really cool.
He was
because-
humble. He was a good friend to him.
Yes.
But the crazy thing, yeah, about it too is that Krill is like, you're a Mandalorian, like you don't know who you are, like you're a fierce warrior, like they're well known throughout the galaxy.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
the Mandalorians are well known to be like, these guys are bounty hunters, like you don't mess with them, you know, like
Exactly.
these guys will handle their own business themselves. So like
Yeah.
he already knows, like he keeps on telling them like, well, I'm surprised it took you so long, like for a Mandalorian, you know, or like I must help you, you know. So it's kind of
Yeah.
like he's like kind of honored to do it, which is super cool because it's like, oh, it kind of
Because
shows
he's never
that
seen one. Yeah.
exactly, and it kind of shows there's a little bit more of like a weight on Mando's shoulders, not really like a weight, but like it's like, oh, he's something.
believe in yourself.
he's-
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
This guy's
Yeah.
he's somebody. He's
and it's-
somebody.
I think it's a story that resonates with
And
a lot
it's
of
cool
people.
because you see his transportation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. And you also see him transform from, you know, you see him. Oh, he's gnarly. He's a bad Mando,
Mhm.
but he's human. You know, he's
Yeah.
like in this episode especially, he gets attacked, trampled by this creature. You know, and yeah, you see him stand up, and he's weak. He's fighting his true, you know, meaning, his true calling for his, you know, for his clan, his Mandalorian clan, and
Right.
you see it even throughout the series. He evolves into that, and it's pretty cool. It's really awesome.
And he's kind of like he has to. Or go ahead, Zach. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just
What
saying.
were
No,
you
I
gonna
agree with. I think that's awesome. That's the one thing I did really enjoy about this first season is that you kind of see Mandalorian coming into his own, like getting comfortable in his own skin, accepting that he's supposed to be, that he is this warrior, right?
Mhm.
And you kind of see that journey, that trajectory through it. And I felt like the first episode, like it's kind of, he's a mysterious character, but then Quill he sort of unpacks the Mandalorian idea for you, right? So he's kind of exposing the audience to the fact that, oh, you're a Mandalorian, you're supposed to be a fierce warrior. He's giving you all these insights to what a Mandalorian should be. And then we see the Mandalorian, and he's kind of like, I'm just kind of just flying by the seat of my pants right now. I don't really know what's going on.
Right, yeah.
And then, you know, he's now confronted with this, you know, this moral decision whether or not he needs to kill Baby Yoda or not. And we obviously we know the choice. He didn't kill. He decides to take him with him and stuff. So, but I think that's really good. It's a really good character development in the show, and I think this is why some of the older audiences enjoy it, because they miss TV like this that had a moral lesson to be determined in it, right?
Exactly.
And a lot of TV doesn't include that. So like the story of Mandalorian is sort of giving this nostalgic feel to older like TV and older storytelling. Like it's giving you that feeling. Like if people say it feels like a Western, because I mean it's shot like that, like
like an old
John Wayne film,
and it has that kind of quality to it. And those movies back in the day, they always had like a guy who was, you know, he had to square away the town trouble, and that's kind of like what you see right now. And,
exactly.
Which I'm enjoying, and I think it's good to see an episode like that where you just kind of get a start to finish, a resolve in the one episode. You know, sometimes you don't get that.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. Exactly. You know, it is very, you know, in a way moral, because you see his. You know, he's his killer. He's this gun for hire. You know, to kill people or bring him back.
Bounty hunter.
Carbonite. Exactly. Yeah. You know, and bounty hunters have a law. You know, they have a code to follow. And also, what I loved about the episode is that you see what, especially in the ending of episode 1, towards this one, when he sees a child, you know, he puts his finger, you know, for them to interact with them. But later on, you kind of see like the past where, you know, it's him as a kid. He's being, you know, hidden for shelter. In a way, I see like Baby Yoda as somewhat of a smaller reflection of him. Yeah. Sorry, the child. You know, it's a little reflection of him because, you know, man, this kid's being hunted. I was being hunted too. You know, like they killed my parents. You know, he's in that situation as well, so he feels compassion for him. You know, and he's like, I should save him. You know, he's defenseless in a way. You know, he's a baby. He's a child. You know.
Yeah.
And also going to, like you said, with the spaghetti, like Western, it felt like an old spaghetti Western, like the old clean film. Gritty, you know, grungy and full of action, you know, but it doesn't. It's funny. It's a space western without making it too cliche.
Exactly.
It's different, you know. It's so different. It's awesome. It's Star Wars, you know.
It's that space western feel, you know. The cool thing that I thought, like I was saying, like before, it was like that space western mixed with like that Destiny feel. Like I don't know if you ever played that game, Destiny. Yeah. It had that Destiny bounty feel, you know.
Oh yeah, it did.
Where like everybody's in like the guild, you know, where you're kind of like, which was like so cool because kind of like on an off note, but not off note, is that if they I would have liked to seen that if they created a Mandalorian game like that too, where it was it'd be kind of like that.
It'd be kind of like
Grand Theft Auto. That would be a tight game if you think about it.
You're just doing.
You know what? There was a game. There was
exactly.
Honestly, there was supposedly a game coming out that was like a big Star Wars world, kind of like Breath of the Wild, Zelda, but for Star Wars. You know, you're a bounty hunter. You're a Jawa. You're some scum alien. You know, living, trying to survive. And also, there was a game back in the early 2000s. It was a GameCube game. It was Jango Fett, and it was like a bounty hunter thing. He was hired to get the people, and honestly, for the time it had good visuals. They should bring that back or tweak it.
That would be tight, or revamp it. You know, that would be totally cool.
I think
it was a fun game. I mean, for the time, it was fun.
Yeah.
Hey,
I mean, they brought back Pod Racer and other games too. Yeah.
I got that on this. Are you on Switch? Do you play Switch at all?
I have a Switch. I have a Switch Lite.
Oh
do you guys have Switches?
I have a Switch, so we're definitely going to exchange friend codes.
Yes. Oh, heck yeah. All right.
I'm trying to get
for
this
next
guy.
month.
He's getting
I'm waiting.
All right. Join the force, Luke.
I'm getting the PS5. It comes out next month. I mean, in November. So.
Side.
Oh my God! I only gotta wait. I'm waiting a couple months, and then I'm getting my PS5. So that's why I'm like,
Hey guys, really quick.
Awesome.
So we've been chatting for about 45 minutes now, guys. Real quick before we get to our sign off, I had a little game for us, or just a little question, I guess a few questions before we get to our sign off. If there was one character, or if there was one job that you could have in the Star Wars universe, Pedro, what would the job be?
Oh boy, I would say, dang, there's too many options. You got Jedi, you got, I don't know. I would say like a starship freighter. Like Han Solo-ish. Where you get paid to do things. To drop off certain stuff. Kind of like a delivery man.
A flyboy.
Like Philip J. Fry. Yeah, like Philip J. Fry on Futurama. Delivery boy. Something like that. But Star Wars.
I get you. So more of the Lando Calrissian.
Ship, you go to all these planets.
A little bit more of that. A little bit more of that. What's that? What do they call Han Solo? What does Leia call Han Solo all the time? She calls him a
smuggler,
a scoundrel.
Call him a scoundrel.
A little bit of a smuggler. A little bit of a scoundrel.
Smuggler, scoundrel.
A little bit of a of a good guy though at the same time. So no, I get you. So you're like Han Solo.
Exactly. Yeah.
I get you. I feel you on that one. And I don't know about my brother, but I've always wanted to be a pilot. I've always wanted to be a pilot in Star Wars. Flying the Falcon. My brother and I we've always made references to him being, Han and Chewie somehow. Yeah. But we're the inverse because I'm
Han and Chewie
and he's smaller.
I got. Yeah, my brother too. Like, all right.
So it's just always kind of had that brother idea about flying the Falcon. But since we're on the lines of talking about pilots and flying and stuff like that, if you could choose a co-pilot for your whatever ship that you were flying, what Star Wars character would you choose as a co-pilot?
Oh. Right. It's a tough one too. It's either between dang. Someone loyal like Chewie and strong as well, but someone you actually talk to and you understand, definitely will be a Hispanic person like Luna,
There you go,
someone like a good friend, and then a human as well, if I had to pick, probably I would say like Chewbacca, someone strong like a muscle. I'm not that strong, If I go into like this space problem.
So what about K2SO?
Should we take him out,
K2SO is pretty.
Oh dang! That's all I missed about him. He's good. You know what? Yeah. Droid, yeah.
We also K2SO was cool.
Well, last episode
I would definitely have to say like
IG-11, and that was a gnarly droid. I don't know if he flies, but that's a gnarly droid. I'd like to have one of those on my squad.
And these sequel trilogy, and these sequel trilogies have really good droids.
Yes.
Like the one from Solo, K2SO. Hey, even BB-8. I mean, he's a badass little guy.
Cool. Yeah, I like BB-8 a lot.
But yeah, K2's like
K2SO though his type of droid was like way in the you had the Clone Wars.
Was from the droid.
But the very first Clone Wars animated series. Yeah. He's from the Clone Wars, but the very first the Droid Army exactly. But the very first time you see a K2SO type droid is in actual first animated Clone Wars.
That's right.
Back when it first started, way back in the day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because you see K2SO in, I don't think you see him in Clone Wars, but I think you see him in Revenge of the Sith. You see one of them in Revenge of the Sith. They may have been in the Clone Wars movie, Episode 2, I don't know. But the first time I seen one was actually in the Clone Wars animated series way back when in 2001. No, like 2005, like crazy.
I never watched the Clone Wars. So
it's so cool to see them bring back that character, though, after all these years.
And same thing with Saw Gerrera. He was a Clone Wars character, and they brought him back.
That's right.
Yeah,
he was sure.
I'm excited because I remember there was a time I'm not sure if I'm not sure if it was a Clone Wars or not, but they did explore the Mandalorians in one of the animated series. So I might go back and double check some of that stuff too. So we get some more insights about Mandalorian.
I know in Clone Wars, they definitely did in the Clone Wars animated series. The Mandalore is a big part. It's like a chapter. It's like one of their seasons is just focused on the Mandalorian.
See, that's what I need to go
Star
back
Wars Rebels
sure.
too. They had a few. Yeah.
And actually, Obi-Wan actually like dated when they weren't supposed to.
Right.
He actually has dated a Mandalorian.
Yeah, of course Obi-Wan dated him.
Episode,
okay.
Which exactly.
Pedro, I need to know your professional Star Wars opinion on this. What is your favorite lightsaber battle in Star Wars?
All right. Of all time, that hits me back.
All time.
As a kid, I would say my favorite has to be with Vader and Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi.
Because you see that anger in Luke. Yeah, because you see his anger. You see Luke. He wants to save his dad.
Yeah.
But he knows he can't because he got the Emperor on his back pulling him towards the dark side. And there's a little funny thing if you notice on him when he's fighting Vader. He has, he's on black, right? He's, swashbuckling Vader.
Yep.
After he cuts off Vader's hand, you notice that his collar is open. White.
It's white.
Exactly, it's white. It's showing you that he's not all dark. He's going to the light side. There's still light in Luke. He's not just being tormented.
Yeah.
That too.
Yeah, I love that scene because it's so much conflict. A lot of, it's a tug and pull.
Yeah.
Join me. No, you join me. No, come on. And by the end, it's a big, powerful moment when you see Vader, or Anakin see him with his own eyes instead of seeing him through the eyes of the Master Vader. And redemption, it's a powerful thing, and you see it obviously somewhat mirrored in the end of Episode 9 too.
Wow!
In that same episode, though, you see Luke Skywalker as he's hiding underneath the stairwell. Half of his face is blue and half of his face is red.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like he's split down in between the middle.
Exactly.
Really
it's a very split like.
Oh, yeah, I was picking little spots.
And this is like I heard about the flap too. I heard about that before. Yeah. It's like that's so crazy because it's all black. He's dressed all in black, and then at the end of that whole entire movie, when he's flying away in the cruiser, when he takes her, that flap is open and it's that little bit of white. But in that scene where he's under the cell, half of his face is red, half of his face is blue.
And it kind of
red and blue,
back with Empire Strikes Back when he fights that spirit of Vader.
Yeah.
But he sees his face in the helmet, which fast forwards to that scene after he cuts off his Vader's hand.
Yeah.
He looks at himself as I'm exactly like him.
He looks at his hand.
I can't be like that. He knows he shouldn't follow that spot exactly how his dad ended. And you notice that he survives. And then another question a lot of people wondered about that scene after the Emperor gets killed in that part. How did Vader die? Why did he die? Well, because there's theories, and actually in the comic books it talks about that his suit is made to give him pain, which causes him anger, dark side, right?
Wow.
And also he could deflect laser beams and shots to his hand, just like he did with Han Solo in Episode 1, Empire Strikes Back. Suit isn't lightning proof, so he knows he can't disobey his master. So on purpose, he has a suit. There's a weakness on his suit. Yeah. So that's why if you notice when he throws the Emperor, everything's shocking him. You see his skull, flash out through the helmet. His time was gone. Also, his power pack that he had in his chest blew out, so he couldn't breathe that well. And he knew it was too late for him, so he knew he had to kill himself to save his son. But at the same time, you see he was weak of his suit. He had a weakness. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars, man, it touches people on levels
never
considered.
So deep.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Hey Pedro, I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you for joining the call, man. I know we've been chatting for about an hour now.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Yeah.
But yeah, we'd definitely love to have you back anytime. So in the future, if you want to do another episode with us, we'd love to have you, man.
Oh, I'm down.
Yeah, maybe we'll get your brother on next time too. We'll do a double date,
totally.
bro date.
Star Bros.
Bro date.
Star Bros.
Star Bros.
Star Bros.
Hey guys,
I'll let him know. Hopefully he'll have time, to join us. Yeah, that'll be awesome. Yeah.
Definitely. Hey guys, any last words before we sign off tonight?
I'm just saying I'm so excited about this podcast, so excited to see where it's going to go. Definitely Star Wars is part of my life. I know it's part of your guys' lives.
Oh, yeah.
All my whole life I grew up with it, playing it, video games to swords on the block, to wearing having the backpack, the Star Wars, it's definitely it's a life-changing thing. I don't think it's so crazy that to say okay, it's us, we're adults, we're already but it affected us in such a big way.
Exactly.
It's so crazy, but it's oh my gosh, it brings back memories, bring back.
Exactly.
That song.
Yeah, I mean, Star Wars is a phenomenon that just binds a lot of people, especially with that fandom. Like us, we grew up with it. A lot of kids, even watching these new Star Wars movies will bring them to Star Wars in any way. And it's amazing seeing that, their enthusiasm, their their love for that series. It's amazing. Yeah.
Definitely. Hey, well, once again, I just want to say thank you guys for joining the call tonight. Thank you guys for joining the call.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah.
Definitely.
It's awesome.
So, those of you guys listening, I just want to say thank you for joining us on this Thursday night. This is the Average Fellas Podcast. You're listening to Star Bros, our show that takes place Thursday nights on Facebook calls. Once again, I'm your host, Zodizach. Thank you guys for listening. Please like, subscribe, review, all those good things. You know where to find us. We're on all the major podcast platforms, guys. Check out our Instagram and our Twitter. Once again, guys, hey, shout out to all the firefighters fighting these fires in California. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you guys. Also, if you guys have a chance, go online, find a place where you can donate. American Red Cross, Cal Fire, a lot of information there. Check it out. Anyways, that was our show, guys. Take it easy, stay safe, peace and love.
All right. The force be with you.
The force be with you.
And with you.